Hi everyone, welcome to our, what are we calling this now? We're calling PARS.
Our PARS Cafe Chat, right?
PARS Cafe Chat, live, online, internet, web-based, whatever we call it.
I'm Renee and this is my husband Peter, and we are really, truly excited to be here today. Actually, we've, I don't know, over the last, 15, 20 years, we lived in Europe and Japan and England, and they always had their tea time and their snacks and something yummy, and that's where we got that idea from. We would, before our shows, right, we would be at a cafe, whether it was indoors or outdoors, just enjoying one another's company and a nice, great cup of tea, love. And
I cannot tell you how many times that after a rehearsal or a training session during the day before a show, that we would just hook up with friends at a cafe and we would sit there literally for hours. And just having, right now I'm having milk with hot chocolate, okay, and it's a little bit of coffee in there from leftover from this morning, but that's what I'm drinking. What are you drinking? What kind of tea are you drinking?
I'm having a nice cup of tea. It's some chai spice tea with lemon and ginger.
Chai spice.
To keep my voice nice and moist.
Right. Now, I know we're going to give you guys a couple of minutes. Some of you are getting online live now and just chiming in. So before we get into the meat of what we're going to talk about at this setting in our little cafe here, I just right below type in and send us what you're drinking right now. What beverage are you drinking? And I know some of you, depending on where you are in the world, it could be earlier in the day or later in the day. So maybe if you're later in the day, hopefully, maybe you're having a glass of wine or maybe something a little bit more potent. But let us know what you're doing. We'll do our best not to share with everyone. But no, if you want it private, let us know. But anyway, we just want to know what you guys are doing. So the reason why we really started this is because a lot of times we find ourselves connecting with everyone while we're on the computer.
Yes.
Renee would be working, doing what she's doing. I'm doing what I'm doing, depending, on every part of our businesses that we do. And we find ourselves chatting with a lot of you guys around the world.
Yes.
So I had the idea, I said, hey, why don't we do a cafe chat online and do it on Sundays, and pick a time that works for us and maybe works for you, 2 o'clock. Now I know today is Super Bowl, so but that's not until later on for us. We're on the East Coast. Okay, and so what are some of the things we're going to talk about? We have a couple of things that are based on other performers, and really this is for you performers out there, right?
Yes. Well, what I would love to be able to touch on is just for us as performers, as creative people, whether or not we're behind the scenes or whether or not we are just getting into the business, that we just want to really make sure that we are training and that we are honing our craft and we're doing our homework, literally doing our homework. And another thing that I know that we were talking about that we wanted to touch on was just the social media and social networking. I've had some amazing things happen to me over the past couple of days that we'll get into more detail with, that I wanted to share with you creative-wise, but I know that Peter has some tools and some things that have definitely, I know, have helped me to book stuff right away that I know that we can help you with. And this is why Peter and I started the Performing Arts Resource Site, is because we want to be able to help to give back to the next generation of performers, encouraging and inspiring you and being able to share with you step by step the things that we've done over the past 30 years and that we are still doing that are working very well, and also too being able to share that with other performers and technicians and creative people from all over the world that we've worked with, from Japan to London to Germany, and just to be able to share that with you so that you can continue to carry on within your career.
Right. When you guys register, just real quickly, I want to make sure, just to let everyone, make sure that everyone gets it. When you registered on the thank you page that you guys registered, after you registered, it talked about a video below. I showed you the reel, one of Renee's demo reels, and also I added a PDF file there that has some of the top resources that we find a lot of you members have been really taking advantage of. So I want to make sure that everyone has that. So make sure that you got that PDF file that has clickable links in it. It takes you to either webinars or to blog posts that we did, or to 10 minutes to success, which is extremely successful. Okay, so let us know whether you got that or not. If not, and I can send that to you right away. And also make sure that you do share this with, and that's why I like the feature that we have after you register for the event, that you share it with your friends on Twitter, Google Plus, or Facebook. Please share it, because we really do. The one thing that Renee and I want to do, and I picked this up as a martial arts and jiu-jitsu, is share the knowledge. and it's a big thing in martial arts, and I do hope it becomes a big thing in the performing arts industry, because a lot of times we come across performers, and we talked about this a couple of days ago, where performers feel threatened by you, and I can understand that, because there are jobs out there, and sometimes it's easy to think that there's only one job for a million performers, and it's really not the case. There's so much work out there, but
tons of work out there.
And more importantly, that if you brand yourself and brand you and your talent and your niche, then you are the one that you are selling, and no one else can be you.
That's
and
right.
This is what I love with the Renee. You be you, and then you sell you. Know who you are.
That's right.
So the idea behind this and sharing this knowledge is simply just to encourage, inspire, and educate other performing artists and up-and-coming performing artists, and so I just want to make sure I put that out there. Definitely. And so we're gonna go ahead and jump into the first meat of it. So let's. What's the first thing you think performing artists really want to talk about right now? And keep in mind, I'm the geek, and I'm going to talk about the business part and the technical part. Renee is the creative performing arts, even though we both know both areas.
Right.
But I'm really loving the geek, so you're gonna have to be patient with me if I geek out on you every once in a while.
Well, I mean, that's important. My husband and I think that we make a great team because of the fact that we know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and that when you have a team and when you're working together to be able to process, whether you've been in the business for 10, 15, 20 years or whether you're just starting out, it's super important to know where your strengths and weaknesses are, what you need to work on. And I have a great example. The last couple of days, I was in New York City. I've been doing tons of work, and thinking that, performing, because I've been choreographing for the last 10 to 15 years, thinking, oh, well, don't need to sing as much, don't need to go over my monologues. Well, I've currently been signed with MSA, and they are amazing at what they do. They do the most highest level of talent for dancers, for choreographers. They're well known out in LA. Actually, Jamie King's agents, he's with MSA. And now I've signed on to the New York branch of MSA. So I had to meet with Lucille and a few of my other agents that are representing me. And they needed for me to do 3 different types of songs, styles of songs, from legit to pop to rock to funk. Also, I had to do cold readings because they not only see me as a choreographer, but which I kind of think is kind of nice. It's kind of a cool thing, because I'm thinking that as I'm getting older, being behind the scenes more, but they're pushing me to do more talent work. So I was able to do a lot of my singing and choreography. I met with some of the clients there from LA, and it was just amazing, everything that I got a chance to do. So it was basically like my interview for them and for their clients, so that they can see where to best fit me, whether or not I'm going to be assisting another choreographer on a project, say maybe for Mattel or an industrial, or whether or not I'm going to be the talent and they need to call me in for Motown the Musical or to dance Captain Wicket or something. So the other night was amazing, everything that I had remembered learning and actually working on. And my husband's helped me with this as well too, is being able to make sure that I was holding myself accountable, and my children were holding me accountable over the past 2 weeks. So while they had their snacks and were doing their homework, Mama was in the other room and I was doing my homework. That was going over my monologues. That was going over songs that I hadn't sung in shows that I hadn't done in like 12 years, 14 years. Smokey Joe's Cafe, singing from that show to Ain't Misbehavin'. Some of these shows I haven't done professionally in quite a long time. So I had to prepare and to do my homework as well too. And my husband being able to help me to hold myself accountable to make sure that I was getting those things done. So it was just an amazing time. It was a blessed time. I was excited. They were all excited. Which was great. So I really felt good with doing all that work, and I really actually felt like I could do.
Yeah, let me, what I want to do is I want to back up, because one thing that Renee and I want to do is we want to share with you a lot of the exciting things that are going on in our lives and as professional performing artists. But more importantly, I want to make the connection of, okay, it's great news, but how does that help you in a practical way? I'm going to back up a little bit and be patient with me. I want to take a couple of minutes and talk about, because Renee now is doing incredibly exciting stuff with her new agent now, and it's incredible. And to be signed with an agency like MSA, and to meet with Jamie King and all the people that she's been meeting with. So I want to back up. How did she get there? How did she get there? And I want to back up all the way to when she got the opportunity to do the moment and have that happened because of social network and communicating, and then going back and forth using the technology to connect with the producers, the TV producers, the directors of the show, because obviously Renee didn't know about the show initially, and I helped facilitate all that.
Yes.
And so I communicated with with LA, with the directors and producers, and also the people that were other people that were in charge. There were hundreds of people in charge, but I communicated with them through email and texting. Texting was a powerful thing without smartphones, and so once we got that happening, and Renee got the show, you saw the show. Hopefully you've seen the show. If you haven't seen the show, let us know. We'll give you a link to see the show, her segment on The Moment. But once she got on that happened. A chain of events. Once the show was aired, went into motion. That she got to not only meet Jamie King, but he loved her, and then connected her, advised her, is mentoring her to where she got then connected to MSA. Now she's signed with MSA. But I have to say that the ability of us to use the technology, to have the websites, understand Facebook and social networks, and to understand the smartphone and how valuable the smartphone is, was so important and valuable for us to be given the opportunity to do the show, and then now to have opportunity that's going to sustain her as a performing artist into the future, her future. And so I just, as a professional, as a business person, as a technology expert, I had to make sure that all performing artists out there, please do all that you can to understand the technology of today, and not only for the use of it today, but as you go into your future. Because we were talking a lot about being an artist, not just getting that one gig, that one show, that one TV show or pilot or whatever, but having the ability to be sustainable in this industry.
Yes.
And I'll leave it there and continue. What else? I know we've been talking about what other things are going on. We have the article coming out that we're going to be working on.
We have the article coming out. Oh, another thing that while we still are on this social networking and social media, as well too, actually the same evening that I got back from New York City, I was also emailed and checked my LinkedIn and was offered a choreographic job. Didn't know this person, you know, kind of in the similar networks in the Philadelphia theater community and the South Jersey theater community. But I emailed the lady back and I said, oh, well, how did you find out about me? And she said, well, you were on LinkedIn. I checked out your website. I checked out your work. And I said to Peter, I said, honey, this is so great because all the material, all the work that we've done by using the social networks, LinkedIn is amazing. Twitter, Facebook is so important. So now I have producers and directors that are hiring me without even a meeting, without even knowing me, because they've seen my body of work, they've read my bio, they have my references, but most importantly what I've noticed is my reels. My choreographic reels, my director reels, my short reels, my sizzle reels, all those things show what I do. Whether I'm a performing artist, whether I'm choreographing something, whether I'm mentoring, whether I'm coaching on the college level, whatever it is, they are able to see all of those different techniques and all those different styles that I can offer them as a performing artist, and on the other end as a choreographer and a director. So I got two bookings for that in the spring just by being on LinkedIn.
Right. Yeah. What's great about the technology is that because a lot of times, you do the work. Like for instance, you do mailings, and mailings is still happening today. I was just asked the day before yesterday to talk about cover letters, and I know there's use in that. A lot of actors still use it. A lot of agents still ask for it. However, with the technology, in addition to that, the technology is so powerful because the question is this: how do you know it's working? If you send mailers out there, let's say for instance you send out 100 envelopes with your picture and resume and a cover letter in it, maybe a postcard, or maybe even a DVD of your demo reel. You send it out there. Do you know if anyone's watching it? You don't really know that, and unless they call you. But with this technology, you know how many people look at your reel.
Yes.
If you send it out to a list of people on an email list, Okay, you have a way to find out whether they open it or not, and even look at it or not, and then even click the link that sends them to whatever you want them to go to, whether it's your resume, your website, or your demo reel. So the technology, you can actually, and the business part of me wants to say, okay, is that the work that I'm doing, the work that you're doing, is it quantifiable and qualifiable? In other words, can you qualify the work you're doing based on the results that you're getting? And you can see whether it's working or not by just looking at the technology on your Facebook. You can see how many people look at your stuff. LinkedIn, you can see how many people watched your video. On YouTube, depending on where you have, you can see how many people go to your website. So this is so important to see what you're doing and whether it's working or not, quantifiable and qualifiable. So I think it's important, for performing artists to be a professional. Know your numbers, and I talk about this, and if you want to link to my conversation about numbers and the value of numbers to the professional performing artists, and I always emphasize professional, because if you're not professional, then there's no point in you talking about business.
Right.
And so I know another thing. Let me just share with you, because we had 10 weeks of success, 10 minutes of success, a series of videos that we put up there, 21 videos, 10 minutes, either less, maybe a couple of minutes more, but they're great videos, and we're getting such great response. And I want to share with you what a couple of people are saying. And after the video, they can leave comments underneath each of the video tutorials. And one says here, thanks. It says, thanks, Peter. This is helping me as an artist and as an owner of a theater company. So the show is important to me, but even more so, the business is important for me. And also someone else, let me have someone else is saying here, they're saying thank you here. They're doing their assignments. I love it.
Yay.
And
keep up your homework.
Keep it up, because I want to make sure that you guys are not only listening to this stuff, but that you are internalizing it. So I have certain exercise that I'll have you guys do that'll do that. And one says, congratulations on, that was me saying something to someone else. Great start, and to a very informative series. So there's a lot of stuff here that I go through. There's just one page that I'm looking at here. So please, again, the PDF that I sent you, just click that link, 10 minutes to success. Right now it's free. It will be taken down by the end of today. Okay, so that it's only available to our members, our PARS members. But right now, you can go to it and you can click it, and it'll be free for you on next 21 videos. It's incredibly valuable. It shows you to be a professional, and it shows you how to use a powerful tool as a professional performing artist. Now, what's another question that performing artists been asking us?
I had another question, and I thought that this was really interesting. Renee, how important is it for me to stay connected on Facebook and to stay, to keep those of us that will hire you, whether it's an agent, whether it's me as a choreographer or a producer or, anyone that's doing a project, how important is that in you getting work? And what I can definitely say is the internet. Now, yes, our agents, they are there to work for us, and that's important. They set up interviews for us, they set up auditions and go-sees, and we go and we book it, and that's great. But first things first, you need to know what your niche is, who you are, how you want to market yourself, and utilizing that Facebook and putting a posting or things like that up, making sure that you follow through. Great example. Friends that you do have on your Facebook, start to look through them. I got a private inbox message a couple nights ago, and I shared this with my husband. I was so excited. This artist, he's an amazing man, playwright, has done tons of Broadway shows. His name is Coleman. We're on each other's list. I've got thousands of people on my Facebook list now, so now I have to really start to read through who they are and who these people are. But he sent me a private message, and he grew up in West Philadelphia near my dad and my uncle in the sound of Philadelphia. So it was just so amazing when, he wrote me that private message, and that he definitely wants to meet with me because he would love for us to create a new show together. And this is something that I believe is very important for us as artists, is that we all need to continue to grow. I mean, even though I've done a lot, my husband's done a lot, we need to continue to surround ourselves with people that are positive and encouraging, and that we're going to challenge each other to get better in our craft, whether it's our dancing or our singing or our monologues or our improvisational skills, whatever it may be, or whether it's, hey, and now I'm going to be, writing a play or producing a play or helping someone to produce my play. So this is very important, I think, for you as a performing artist, or whether you're a writer or a producer or whatever it may be within this business of performing arts. Get your stuff out there. Put your things out. Share with other artists. Maybe there's community groups on LinkedIn. There's some great community groups for professional performing artists, for producers, for script writers. There's so that you can share each other's creativity, so that you can encourage and inspire one another, so that you can grow and so that you can become more. And this is important. I think that, for those of us that have been doing it for a long time, we don't want to stay stagnant. Things are always changing and always moving, and if we want to continue to be professionals in this business, we need to continue to learn and grow as well too.
Yeah, the one thing that I learned as an artist when I started in 1986, profession. That was when prior to that I was doing classical ballet, dancing in ballet companies down in South Florida. But when I went up to New York, that's when I said, okay, I'm going to do this as a professional. Had no idea how I was going to do it and where I would end up, but I knew I wanted to dance and be a professional. And now when I look back on, there are certain things that I would do because I did not know that this idea of, can I sustain myself? Can I continue to work and earn a living and pay my bills, meet my responsibilities, not only for the day, but for the future, my retirement? It's important that you invest in yourself now. I know a couple of in the 10 Minutes to Success, I talk about investing in yourself, and not just for today, but for your future, because there'll be 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, 30 years down the line. And can you see yourself? Can you envision yourself as a performing artist? And then what would you be doing? So this is very important, because what you do today will plant those seeds, the doors that will open up to you. You want them to stay open to you and for the future, because these are the people that if they are around, they're going to support you, and you'll either be hiring them, or they'll be hiring you, or you'll be collaborating with them, because this is a small circle. The longer you're in this industry, it's one thing we found is that the circle gets smaller and tighter and tighter. So it's not uncommon that we can look on a playbill or see on TV the credits, and we see people that we've worked with that were on stage with us.
Or in the pit as second or third keyboard, and now they're major producers and directors.
Right. And I the other day on Facebook, Paul Bogave, I don't know if you know of him. Paul Bogave, he was a musical director for us
for Starlight. He's done all the Andrew Lloyd Webber shows.
Now he's doing a workshop, actually, just in the place that you were just in. What was that place?
At Pearl Studios.
Pearl Studios. But he's written music and
all the movie scores, Dreamworld soundtrack, and a whole bunch of other things.
Won all kinds of awards. And this is someone we worked with, that we know him and he knows us. And so this is important for us to remember. And so my point is, make sure you invest in yourself, and invest in yourself so for the long haul. What if you can be a performing artist professionally, getting paid for something that you love and you have a passion to do? And this is what we're doing. And many of you love to see our pictures, and we like to share them, just to share our lives with everyone, and the videos, and the energy we have is simply because we love what we do. We enjoy our lives. We love where we are right now with our kids, with our family. We're in South Jersey, but we can still connect with the world because of the technology, and still earn a living in the entertainment industry, and use the skill sets. I use my skill sets as an actor, for all my businesses, because now these days everything's on video and the internet, and it's a show every time. Right now this is a show. And I have the skill sets for it. So I just want to make sure that you guys invest in yourself. Go to our website. Go through it. If you're a member, please let us know what is valuable to you. I love it. We have a couple of members that has suggested that we add content up there. We're going to do that because there's so much to work on. We will make sure that we have a resource site that will serve you. and it's it's what, $10 a month for now, and that will be going up in a couple of months because we're getting a good amount of members there, and it's taking more work for us to maintain it. And so that is our way to give you guys our way to show your gratitude for the resource site.
Yes.
So please become a member. If you're not a member, please join, go through it. And those of you that are members, please go through it as we describe it. We take it step by step. Make sure you have your tools together. If you go to the website, you'll see it's outlined. I use my ability, because one of my jobs in the companies that I do is create curriculum. Okay, someone has something that they're doing, I look at what they're doing and I turn it into a curriculum that can be delivered in a very organized way. So I do the same thing with our resource site. So please go to it, look at it, and it says start here, start there.
Yes.
If you're not a member, you're not going to be able to have access to all the content. Just become a member. It's only $10 a month. You can get out of it anytime you want. It's no issues, no questions at all. But do try it. It's invested. I don't know what that's, a couple of cents a day. For one, so please go there and you'll get all this other information.
Yes. I mean, regarding our site and so many people, I don't know, I think I get probably by the end of the week, probably hundreds of text messages, emails, tweets. Miss Renee, can you help me with this? Miss Renee, this audition's coming up for college, or Miss Renee. And some of you have joined the site, and I definitely want to continue to reference back to our performing arts resource site because it will give you all the tools that you need. But you definitely need to go step by step. If we're at A, we can't skip and go to D or E. We need to go step by step on all those things. Your training. We have a full dance department where I'm doing warm-ups. I'm giving you dance history, dance terminology. Whether you're a dancer, singer, or a singer-dancer, or a true triple threat, if you have to do Broadway, you need to know all of them. Within our training section, we also have a full vocal department with warm-ups and the voice and explaining what that does. We have a drama department. What your face is doing. What does improv mean? Are you working on your monologues? And other people, actually, that are specific in teaching those specific things. Friends of ours that have done Broadway shows and things are on those videos within our site, but you must become a member. Also, too, our toolbox, and that's my husband's department. That's his niche. Speaking about making sure that we have our pictures and resumes. What do they look like? Do we have a website? Do we need a website? What's a cover letter? What are we supposed to put in a cover letter? All those technical things, the social networking, the tweeting, how all that works to be able to work for you as a professional performing arts person. Also, specific skills, specific skill sets. What are they? How do we use those specific skills? Different tips. I also have a parenting part on my tips site for parents. Getting our children ready in the mornings, getting them ready for calls, for callbacks. Our children have done a lot of commercials and infomercials with us over the years. And we've been able to prepare them and making sure they had the rest and the sleep and the snacks and what are they supposed to wear? How do they warm up? What if they're only 4 or 5 and they need a monologue? All of that is on our parenting tips site. And then the getting booked. We take you all the way through from the very beginning of your career, if you're at the beginning, all the way to getting booked, getting that call back, getting that first regional theater show, or that first infomercial, or that first webisode, or that first print ad, or that first union gig. So we discuss all those things on our performing arts resource site.
Now I know that it sounds exhausting.
Yes.
But I will assure you of this, that our website, even though it seems exhaustive, it is yet to be exhaustive. And what I mean by that, there's so much that you have to consider as a professional in any industry. So our website is designed so that it's step by step, and we keep it as simple as possible and step by step. The only time it gets really, really frustrating and confusing is when people try to hurry up and get things done. I want to get booked now. I want that show now. It does take time.
Yes,
and
it does.
Don't get fooled into thinking that you're going to get that one. It's like being, if you're a boxer, I don't know how many of you follow boxing or anything like that, but a boxer, you go out there for that one punch, try to get that one knockout. Or if you're playing baseball, you want to get that home run every single time. Or if you're playing football, You want to get that touchdown right away. No, talking about football, Super Bowls later on, it's all about yards. Little bit at a time, getting closer and closer and closer.
That's right.
And you'll see that later on today if you watch the Super Bowl. They're not going to always try to get that touchdown. They're going to work, try to get yardage, try to get a first down, and then get more yards, get that 10 yards at a time. Before you know it, they're on the goal line, then they're going to go for it. Okay, they've prepared for it, they've trained hard for it, they have the mindset for it, they've envisioned it, they're pumped up, they're ready to go, but they go a little bit at a time, they let it happen. So our website is designed that way. So please don't rush yourself, be patient, envision yourself, create this vision, and you know what, in your mind you can create a vision that is out of this world, and then you break it down and then create goals. Set goals that are really smart, and then create a plan of action and move to it. Now we do know that accountability is a huge factor. Getting a mentor, someone there that can hold you accountable. Okay, friends are okay, but if you could have a professional like Renee or I, help you along the way, hold you accountable.
And some of you do. Some of you do, and I make sure that I send things out and you get it back to me or get the video back to me or whatever. Yeah, so.
But we're not going to be your crutch.
No.
Okay, so you do have to do the work. I want to encourage you to do that. And I want us to wrap this up. Is there anything else? Because I'm trying to keep this at a certain time. This way we can get to what we got to get to. And I know I want to get to seeing the Super Bowl. I want to relax a bit. I know some of you may have parties going on and gatherings. So we want to wrap this up. Continue to send your questions. We will respond to them, as soon as possible. Give us any suggestions, anything you'd like to see on our website. And also share this with your friends, other performing artists. Share the knowledge.
Yes.
Talk to Renee. Renee has a treasure box full of wisdom, insight, and guidance that she'll be able to share with you along with me. If you need help technically, with anything technically, speak to me. I am an expert. That's where I get paid a lot of money to do that. But with you guys, especially if you're a member, it's part of your membership.
Yes.
Okay, guys? And so whether it's from websites to helping out with the Facebook, with Twitter, with Google+, with LinkedIn, we can help you with all that. If it's you just getting to casting directors, agents, finding listings for that. If you live in New York, how do you do the rounds? If you live, let's say, outside of New York like we do, what kind of strategy can you implement so that you can still be able to compete against this nice, great work that's out there just for you and your niche? Okay, and so that's, I think, that's a good wrap for me. I think
it is. So, thank you so much for joining the both of us. Please, please, please check out the website. Go to www.pars, P-A-R-S, membership.info for more information and to sign up. So hopefully we will be hearing from you soon. Thank you for chatting with us. For Renee and for Peter.
Have a great day.
Have a great day.
Enjoy the Super Bowl.
Bye.
Bye.